Netflix just brought down the dreaded cancellation hammer yet again, this time closing the curtains on 1899 after just one season. And something about this just doesn't make sense, cause the show had a lot going for it, especially considering it was a brand new project from the minds behind Dark, which might just be the greatest Netflix show of all time. I'd even go as far as to say that Dark made Netflix what it is today. I still remember how it was pretty much the only show worth watching on the platform at the time. So 1899 clearly had a ton of momentum behind it. And it's not just hype either. The show got some solid reviews, not to mention making it to the top 10 most streamed shows in the month of its release. It also seemed to fit into a niche of streaming shows that Netflix was getting known for, the sort of mind-bending content that leaves viewers begging for more. They'd pulled it off with Dark, and shows like Squid Game started to make it seem like Netflix's thing, and it really seemed like 1899 was gonna take the trend even further, only for Netflix to give us the shock of our lives.
Das nächste Mal schmeiß ich dich über Bord. Verstanden?
So all of this has got me wondering, why on earth would Netflix cancel it? Do the people in charge hate their subscribers? Do they get off on teasing us with amazing stories only to never see how they finish? Well, it's actually a bit more complicated than that, and no one fully knows the real reason why Netflix took such a bold step. But there are a few things I can think of. For starters, the show apparently didn't have a great completion rate, with only about half of the people that started watching it seeing it through to the end, which is a real shame, because that twist ending left me shaking in my boots. I don't think anyone could have predicted such a crazy turn of events. But despite all that, Netflix's data suggested that the show wasn't hooking viewers the same way Dark did, which might have been a problem in the future, cause the first season of 1899 was just part one of a three-part story, pretty much like Dark was, except this show cost way more to make, and Netflix might not have wanted to commit to two more expensive seasons, especially if the show wasn't giving them the viewership that they were looking for. And I get all that, I really do. Netflix is in the money-making business after all.
Notice that we turned the ship. I just want to know when we're returning to our course.
But I feel the decision might actually prove kinda short-sighted. Given the sort of reaction the news is getting, fans are about to riot after hearing about the cancellation, and the outpouring of hate started not long after one of the showrunners announced that they'd gotten the red light. In all honesty, I'm right there with them, cause 1899 was a great show, full of mysterious characters and a unique blend of sci-fi and fantasy. It was a show that made me think, and that's not something you find on Netflix very often. It's hard to deny that the show really resonated with the fans, and they all came out of the woodwork to rain hell down on Netflix. A few fans said that the news basically ruined their whole year, with many wondering why they picked 1899 instead of the tons of other stuff they could have ended. Some fans are so upset that they might end up canceling their subscriptions, or at the very least reverting to occasional subscriptions when they find out about new content, and I might end up doing something along those lines myself. Netflix is setting a really bad precedent. The streaming platform doesn't have the best of reputations, at least when it comes to the kind of content they have to offer, because most of it is just straight up trash. So when viewers find something that's actually worth watching, something that engages them and keeps them on the edge of their seat, it kind of feels like a diamond in the rough type of situation. But the thing is, it's really hard to get invested in shows on Netflix anymore, because you never know what the future holds.
They didn't identify themselves as the Prometheus. Nor did they say they were in need of any help.
Some of the best shows Netflix ever had never got the chance to reach a conclusion, from Sense8 all the way to The Get Down. It seems like every other good show on Netflix gets punished for actually trying to do something different, and fans are getting a little nervous about a few other shows, because even though shows like Arcane and Shadow and Bone have already been greenlit for second seasons, we haven't heard much about them since then. What's more, shows like Wednesday haven't gotten a green green light either. So what's to stop Netflix from robbing the fans of yet another potential classic? Decisions like this just seem irrational, cause you've gotta understand, the showrunners deserved a bit more time, even if it's only cause of what they did with Dark. That show took a while to really get going, and the payoff was sublime. Couldn't Netflix have given the show the benefit of the doubt? The showrunners literally had the ending all planned out, so it's not like they were making shots in the dark here, but who are we kidding? This is the platform that canceled BoJack Horseman out of the blue, forcing the show to rush the last season. So there's nothing new about them randomly canceling shows that basically helped them build their brand, without even giving the people making the content a chance to finish things off the way they'd intended.
The ocean has a depth of almost 4,000 meters.
Es hat aufgehört.
Was hat aufgehört?
Die Koordinaten, sie haben aufgehört, sie zu senden.
I'm getting the impression that the people working there look at so much data that they lose sight of the bigger picture, which is that people won't stick with them if they don't let them get closure. And why should they? It's not like there's any point in watching great shows if they'll end after a single season. Also, I should probably mention, us fans are not the only ones that are affected by this decision. In fact, we've actually gotten off pretty easy, cause the cast is absolutely devastated. This must have been a once-in-a-lifetime chance for all of them. After all, none of the cast members were all that famous, and they all did such a great job of bringing the show to life. What makes things even worse is that this wasn't just about money for them. They poured their heart and soul into the show, and not being able to finish what they started must be downright heartbreaking. I actually might have shed a tear when I saw Lucas Tonnison's Instagram post. He literally called the cast members his family, which is totally understandable because 1899 could have taken his career to the next level. He's already done so well in Borgen, Power, and Glory, and seeing him on 1899 gave me such a warm, fuzzy feeling inside. We also got the chance to see Andreas Pietschmann in action once again, which was pretty awesome because I really loved his performance on Dark, and I was really looking forward to seeing him explore the character a bit more, potentially even becoming the global superstar that he deserves to be. But now we'll never know what could have been, cause the powers that be at Netflix really don't seem to care about what people want. Maybe there's some hope on the horizon. Maybe another platform or network could pick the show up, but I doubt any other company would want Netflix's leftovers. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see what other great show gets canceled next. That's how everyone's been reacting to 1899 getting canceled. See you in the next video.
So we're changing course because of message from unknown sender who did not ask for help.
Man has mapped out every corner of this world. Been to the farthest deserts, the top of the